Good morning. I'm always honored to be among people with an interest and desire to ensure our digital world is safe. I just want to reiterate my thanks to Sam and the rest of the B-Sides team for accommodating my little bit of a drama and switching this to a remote session early this morning. It does provide me an ample opportunity to discuss what I feel is a powerful strategy, how we can cultivate security champions within our organizations and effectively shift our security practices to the early stages smartly. My name's Kay. I'm a final year cybersecurity student at the University of Salford. I'm currently a placement student within the application security team at Matillion. And after my placement year, I was fortunate enough to remain there as a part-time as an InfoSec analyst as well. While I have a passion for all things Tolkien and Chelsea Football Club, unfortunately, my brief industry experience and my passion for this topic has brought me here to share some insights on how we can look inward to address the shortage of trained and experienced cybersecurity personnel by effectively building a security champions program, which is what I'm going to spend the next 15 minutes talking about today. But before I go into that, the digital landscape has evolved, hasn't it? This network of interconnections can also be seen as an expansive realm of vulnerabilities. This is a world where our attackers only have to get it right once, but we have to get it right every single time. And that can be a little bit daunting. Most of us here are well aware that cybersecurity demand is exploding. Almost every report we read sort of underscores that urgency that we need more hands on deck. But what if I told you that there's a hidden reserve force within our own organizations that we can definitely look inward rather than outward? So what is a security champion? It sounds a little bit cliche, but I want you to imagine a world where every team, be it development, product management, HR, even legal, has at least one person who wears the hat of security. These are security champions. They aren't full-time security experts, but advocates for security within a team. These are those colleagues of ours who can ensure that security is a part and parcel of every conversation and every decision. And they serve as the first line of defense against security issues sometimes, acting as our bridge, communicating critical security messages, imparting knowledge, and bringing us all up to speed on matters that count to the team. For me personally, I say they are heroes in disguise because they can provide us with an impromptu force multiplier effect in security and in our organizations as well. So you might be wondering, how do we uncover these hidden gems? The process, I feel, is pretty similar to discovering hidden talents in a fun talent show. But how do we really go about it? To build an army of security champions, we definitely need a strategy that's rooted in attraction. It begins with outreach, not mandates, but inspiration. We want to be able to inspire our colleagues to be able to look up at that poster and be like, you know what, I can also wear this cloak. I can put that hat on. We can do this by performing outreach, organizing lunch and learns, bringing in guest speakers who have fascinating stories of the cyber trenches. We can initiate email campaigns to spur interest, and then we observe. Those who lean in, those who ask questions, those who engage actively, these are potential champions. We have to change the security team's mantra to "I am here to serve you." I feel that if we're able to do that effectively, your team will be able to attract even more candidates to join to become a security champion. Keeping the saying of "you are my customers" to the rest of IT and the rest of the organization in general is basically the truth. The golden rule here is to attract, not to force. So now we've identified them. We've got a room full of brand new cybersecurity champions, and they're itching to learn all about cyber. What do we do then? What do we teach them? How do we even impress them? Well, I feel that the one thing we could do is to teach them what they need to know, not in more and really not in less. What do they really need to know though in their everyday jobs? Topics that are specific to our organizations and that technical topics that they need for their daily jobs. For application security, this could be things like formal training on secure coding, threat modeling, how they fix the bugs. For the InfoSec team, this could be knowledge of the security policies that are normally relied on to answer certain security questions regarding your product if you're a vendor. Allowing them to be submerged in workshops, hands-on exercises, and real-world case studies, and letting them learn from seasoned professionals through mentorship will definitely help. A well-informed champion, I feel, is a confident advocate. We want to aim to empower those champions with knowledge and teach them exactly what they need to know to perform their roles effectively. Tooling is also very important. We have to be able to show them how and what the output of the tools mean. How do they validate results? How do they install and configure it? It is our job to help them pick the right tools or involve them when we're choosing tools that would help them in their day-to-day tasks. Other topics for the InfoSec team could be the knowledge of your ISMS and the security certifications that security white papers that your organization is involved with. Well, a quick question here. I know you guys didn't come all the way to Newcastle to come speak to a love guru, but who's ever read the five love languages or heard about love languages? Any takers? For for those who haven't heard of them, they are a predictable pattern of how people respond to various acts of kindness. Someone's love language is the specific type of kindness that they are most affected by. Think about it for a second. How often have you done that extra bit because someone acknowledged your efforts? I, I know it happens to me all the time. I feel that that pushes me to want to even do more, not to seek that recognition, but the security of knowing that what I do has direct impact and is valuable helps my mentality a lot on a day-to-day basis. And our champions are no different. When we are creating a security champions program, it's very important that we ensure a balanced approach. This usually prevents the program from failing. So we want to make our champions feel appreciated. They are doing double duty without extra pay. So we need them to feel very aware of our gratitude. Gifts, words of affirmation, quality time, acts of service can all play a vital role in making our champions feel valued. Organize awards, maybe even gamify the learning process a bit. Engage them in team building activities. And like I said, I can't reiterate this enough, always thank them for their indispensable contributions, I feel. We want to make sure that they continue to contribute to our organization's security with renewed verve every day. A quick note. A note in their performance review always goes a long way. From personal experience, I know that adding that appreciation on their performance reviews on a quarterly basis, it does go a long way to show that gratitude and appreciation for the work that they do. But creating champions, this isn't a one-time effort. It is a sustained initiative. To be able to sustain the energy in our champions program, we need to foster an environment of effective communication. We need to open channels of communications and in all our interactions have open-ended conversations with our champions. Have that informal chat over coffee, get their feedback through surveys, and most importantly, make them feel valued. I might say that a few times, but they do need to feel valued to be able to give a proper output for our program. Their insights are golden, and they can definitely help to reshape our program and make it even more effective. One thing we do, one thing we do is we meet our champions once a month. We hold semi-regular lunch and learn meetings, where during these meetings we teach them something, like I said, that you want them to know. Or sometimes they might even provide a topic that they want to specifically gain knowledge on. Pick up on that and arrange that seminar to impact that knowledge to them. We can show them training videos or even a recording of a conference. I hope someone's recording this to show their team in the future. But that would really hit home. We want to keep them informed of any changes, any updates to our security initiatives. We also want to be able to provide them with the necessary support to make sure that they are successful. This might include access to experts, technical resources, and any other resource that may need, even if it's just someone to talk to vent out their frustrations. That could really be helpful as well. We live in an era that's driven by data. So we have to measure our program's impact. We need to track those tangible metrics like how swiftly issues are remediated in the AppSec world, what vulnerabilities have been uncovered by our champions. And this is really important, we have to try to avoid vanity metrics. What are the metrics that truly matter? Engagement, satisfaction, real contributions that fortify our cyber defenses. We should focus on measuring the program engagement, how many people attended an event, how many people reported issues to us, how many people asked questions. Focus on instances where champions have told us about a security issue that we wouldn't have known about otherwise. Focus on gathering stories of our champions saving the day, hyping some of those stories and providing help to their teammates, the stories of them providing helps to their teammates or anything else that makes for a good storytelling session for upper management or whoever the stakeholders are. Hype them up in your Slack channels if you have one. Because in our quest to build an effective security champions program, keeping track of these metrics that represent actual progress is beneficial. Like I said, we need to focus on engagement, champion satisfaction, and their significant contributions on a day-to-day basis. In conclusion, I want you all to sort of envision a future where every corner of our organization sort of resonates with that ethics of security, where our security champions become the catalyst and the driving force behind proactive rather than reactive security measures. While we strive to define and focus our program, let's set expectations, but we make these expectations realistic and flexible. Appreciate that every security champion is a key cog in the wheel of our cybersecurity function, and we would have an amazing security champions program. Some last minute tips though. Keep every recording and saving of your group sessions for future onboarding and training future sessions in the future. Use this to onboard new and potential champions. But also keep in mind that this isn't about a team or a specific individual. but it's more about weaving security into the fabric of our organization, literally one champion at a time. Just before I leave you all, as always, I have a couple of resources, not too much. I always have to shout out Tanya Janka. I can't ever give a talk without mentioning her. I have a running joke that if application security was a religion, it would be Jesus Christ, and her book would be my gospel. She's kindled my interest in AppSec and all things cybersecurity, to be fair, and I have found all her resources to be very useful and insightful. I suggest you give her a follow if you'd like to learn more. OWASP needs no introduction. They provide free resources, sort of like a library of safety manuals to help anyone interested in improving web application security. The objective, obviously, is to make the digital city, our digital city, a safer place for everyone to live, work, and interact. I've also found using them very, very useful, and I hope you will too. Thank you all for your time. Sorry I've run over a little bit, but I'm confident that together we can harness the power of our internal talents and foster a robust security culture. I'd love to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts, experiences, or any questions you have on building and empowering security champions in our organizations? Thank you so much for giving me this time. I appreciate you all.
The questions, or can you hear it on the other side there, by the way?
I can.
So does anybody have any questions they want to ask, or going once, going twice? So the man in the right t-shirt. Thank you so much for your time. So there's no questions on this side, but it was a fantastic talk. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you for having me. Thank you.